Good day, my adept family, and welcome. My last little negative image was not so much the old crone story. It was just a little reaching out for help financially, and whatever you would wish to send me in cash to Al D. Martin at P.O. Box 1165, Vinton, Virginia 24179. Now, I'm going to have to serialize this rendition of The Old Crone. And The Old Crone is a deep story because it's connected on many strings. And look at this. Does that look better? Some people say. You know, kids, I'm still figuring out how to do this. I think that looks best. Anyway, and you can always turn your device sideways and it'll go long ways. But the old crone was connected to every indigenous person I knew. Grandfather David in New Mexico, Grandfather David in upstate New York near Ithaca, and many of the Aborigines in Australia, the Aborigines in New Zealand, the Aborigines in Hawaii, the Aborigines in all the Southwest, the Lakota, the Sioux, the Apache, all the people that I stayed with, the Walamajiri, the Kung, the folk in the rainforests of South America and Brazil, where I was the first white person they ever saw. All of these people were connected. All these people told the same story. All these people talked about what it was needed to be a human being, and that was love and empathy, not the vision of the other. You know, in the Bible it says, oh, you can't lend money, you can't do usury, can't steal, can't cheat, can't lie, definitely can't kill. Well, that's fine for all the folk who are part of the club, but anybody who's not part of the club, like those other people over there, go steal, cheat, and lie to them. Go kill them for God, And that's what the old crone, first and foremost, brought to my realization of, at a young age. I was about 19 when I was with her. And from the outset, she spoke of all our relations, of the connection between everyone from the beginning to the end, that everything was non-linear, that everything was all at once. The Big Bang was also the Big Snuff. It all happened at the same time. We're just experience it in a linear way. That's the only way our little avatar of the bag of water can see this. So I'm going to try and be a little more disciplined. It's 3 minutes, 44 seconds, and I have to kind of keep this under 5 minutes. So I'll just tell you about the moment I met her. So I was at, as I said, Trinity in Ireland, which is the oldest consecutively together university on the planet. It's been around almost 3,000 years. And it's been a archive and a depository of really rare information, books, scribes, lots of different things. It is truly an amazing thing that doesn't seem to be what it is, but it is. So I was sitting there in a special reading room where I got to read a book, and this is in 1970, maybe 69, 70, 71, because I hadn't gone to Jamaica yet, and I hadn't gone off to New Mexico yet, so it was probably 70. Anyway, So I was sitting in this room, and you had to wear a mask, and you had to wear linen gloves and a smock to read these books. You know, they didn't want you to drop any of your sandwich or coffee onto this parchment. And not everybody was allowed in there, but because of the lady who sent me, Marion Tulin, and the president of the school, who was her friend, and he basically, didn't want to be bothered by me, and he just let me read in the library. And there was an anthropologist there, his name was Archie, he was Scottish. And I'll tell you, because he's part of this story, further on about him. And again, all of these people in my life come together as a painting, not as a specific entity. Anyway, as I was reading and looking for the key to understand this document, I just kept turning it around, turning it around, and I had this smell. I looked over, and there was this bag lady. I mean, she was dressed in garbage bags. She had a little trolley with all her stuff in it, and the librarian, who totally ignored me, was unbelievably deferent to her, like she was the Queen of England. And there I was. And I would cop a glance like, and what are you looking at? Anyway, so she kept coming closer to me, and I kept looking at her, and she kept saying, what are you looking at? And then she looked over my shoulder and watched me trying to understand the document. And she said, oh, you're looking for the key. And she pointed to right where it was and showed me how to use it. And I plugged it in, and I could start to defrag the document. And I was writing it down in my little notebook, and she was looking over my shoulder, and she goes, oh, you write in code too. And I looked at her, she looked at me, and she goes, you need to study with me. You're an adept, I can tell. Go tell Harvey, he's, the guy who ran Trinity, not just my supervisor, but the guy who ran Trinity, the head guy. And she said, go tell him that Grace said that you need to study with her. And that was the old crone's name, and that's a piece of information I'm going to give you that I didn't give in the time that I told John Birmingham's story. So my telling of the story is a little different than when I was constrained by John's jabbering and environment and etc. Now, he did add a certain je ne sais what to the video, but I'm going to try and be in more depth, give you more information, respond to your questions on email, which you can get a hold of me at the dudeawake42@gmail. And so give me feedback on this and what you want to know about the old crone and the connections, because you are adepts. You are my adept family. And through these YouTubes, I'm going to alchemically and shamanically assist you to become that child of God, a child of love's co-creation that you're meant to be. Well, we're about 8:44, so I'm going to say au revoir, and I will try my best to put up the next episode. Okay, and I love you.